How to make a copycat Little Caesars Crazy Puffs. I'm going to be using dinner rolls. First thing we're going to do, melt a stick of butter, 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder, Italian seasoning, 1/4 teaspoon. Shake it in. Now my butter is already salted butter. I'm not going to add any salt. Combine this together. What we're going to do is slather this into our muffin tins, the original size. Go up the sides and the bottom. Now I have these on a sheet pan. It's just easier to work with. And plus later on in the cooking process, the butter won't ooze out and go into my oven. It'll go onto the sheet pan. We're going to set this aside for later in the recipe. Bring over our dinner rolls. I'm using the Rhodes Thaw, Rise, and Bake dinner rolls. I'm going to cut these open. They come out looking like this. They're frozen. We're going to put one in each muffin tin. Make sure you put these back in the freezer. That way they don't start thawing out on you and become one big roll in there. I'm making 12 today. You can make as many as you want. I'm going to place these in the oven. I'm not turning it on, but it is a nice warm place to help rise our rolls. And I'll be back once these are thawed and have risen. It'll take a couple of hours. There we go. Look how puffy those look. Turn the light on to kind of give it a little warmth in there, and that helps speed up the process. I'm going to be using a wooden rolling pin, and I'm just going to place it into the center of the roll, puff it out, push it up against the sides, make it nice and indention in there just like that. I got 3 hands today. Now you can use whatever you have to make your hole in your dough here. You can use a spoon and just spread it out, as long as it gets to the edges and you have lots of room in there for all your good ingredients, right? All right, we got these all done. Now remember that butter that we saved from earlier? Put it in my microwave for about 20 seconds just to get it nice and melty. And then what we're going to do is take that brush, we're going to slather it inside the dough. Got to give it some flavor. Now don't oversaturate, but we do want some flavor. We're going to be using some Classico pizza sauce. You don't need too much. We're going to place it right in the center. Now you don't have to heat the sauce up or anything. It's going to cook in the oven. Such a quick, easy way to make some pizza. We're going to take some shredded mozzarella cheese, place some right in on top of that sauce, and we'll finish off over here. There we go. I took some pepperoni and I kind of just cut them into quarters or halves, and what I'm going to do is just place on top of the cheese a few slices, load them up. We're going to go back with the cheese. I'm going to sprinkle some parsley on top, give it a nice color. You can do a more Italian seasoning if you want to do that. I'm going to take a whole pepperoni and put it right on top. These are going to puff up so nicely because these are those dinner rolls, and you know what they do. They puff up. There we go. And finish them off over here. Now I have my muffin tins in a sheet pan, kind of a deep lip one. That way if there's any butter or anything like that, it doesn't go into your oven. It could cause a fire. So make sure that you put these on a sheet pan. I've got my oven preheated at 350 degrees. Now I'm basing this off of the package that my rolls came out of. And it says to bake these for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to take the rest of that butter and just kind of slather it on top. We're going to let these sit in the pan to cool down. These are the perfect appetizer, the perfect lunch or dinner. Anytime you want pizza, make your own. Look at this. That's delicious. Make your own. Don't forget to put some marinara sauce in a bowl for everybody. My Little Caesars Crazy Puffs with pepperoni, my copycat recipe. Today I'm going to show you how to make a 3-meat calzone pizza that's kind of inside of itself. So all the delicious flavors and ingredients that you love on a pizza is stuffed inside a pizza crust. You can make your own pizza dough. Now I have a recipe for it on my recipe blog, catherinesplates.com. Or, you know, to make life easy and less complicated, you can just buy your own pizza dough from your store, which I'm going to be using this one today to show you just how easy a calzone is. There we go. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on my work surface. I'm going to cut my dough in half and work with 1/2. We're going to press this into a ball, sprinkle a little bit of flour on it, and then we're going to roll it out. We're looking about 7 to 8 inches circle. Calzones are pretty rustic. Now I'm going to place this on a parchment lined sheet pan. Okay, let's start on this one. Let's build up our calzones. We're going to take a little bit of marinara sauce, and I'm just going to place this right on half of the dough. And what you don't want to do is go to the edge, about 1/2 inch. That way we can seal these. I'm keeping it very light with the sauce. I've got some mozzarella cheese, and I love that on a pizza, so I'm going to sprinkle a little bit right on the sauce. Try to keep it off the edge there. Whatever cheese you like on your pizza, you can certainly add. We have some pepperoni. We're going to start. That's one of our meats. What's fun about these calzones is you can make them any way you want, whatever you want. On an Italian one, I would saute up your vegetables and then put them on here. I'm going to go in with a little bit more cheese. I'm just going to put it through the layers. I have some Italian ground sausage. This is mild. I'm going to show you really quick right here how I made this. We're just going to put it in our pan, break it up, get it nice and brown. Just going to use my meat chopper and get it going. All right, we're going to place it on top of the cheese. Let me know down in the comments what you would want on your calzone. A little bit more cheese. There we go. We're not done yet. We still got one more meat. I am using a Genoa salami. It's uncured. This is what it looks like right here. All right, I'm just going to probably put 2 slices right there. A little bit more cheese right in the center. All right, let's close these up. You're going to take over the back edge and we're going to pull it over the ingredients. Pinch it to that outer layer. Now you can use a fork to seal it, or what I'm going to do is just take the edging and kind of roll it and seal. Give it kind of a rustic look. Twist it. And we're going to do that going all the way around. There you go, just like that. Get a good seal on it. You don't want these to break open in your oven. I've got a bowl. I've got a teaspoon of water. I'm going to crack an egg into it. We're going to whisk this together. Oh yeah. I'm going to take a brush. We're going to coat our calzones, the dough, the top and the edges really well with the egg wash. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of Italian seasoning across the top, a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic powder. I'm going to take a little bit of foil. I'm just going to lay it over the calzones very lightly, like a tent. I've got my oven preheated at 375 degrees. We're going to bake the calzones for 15 minutes with the foil laid across of them. I'm going to pull the foil off and then we're going to bake it another 15 minutes till it's nice and golden brown. What do y'all think? There we go. Y'all serve them up with some heated up marinara sauce. I'm just going to sprinkle with a little bit of parsley, give it some color right in there. Serve it up. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pizza pasta casserole. Fun way to make pizza and pasta together. We're going to start by prepping our pasta first. We're going to bring 1 large pot of water to a boil. That'll happen faster if you put a lid on it. We're going to add 1 box of penne pasta. This is 1 pound uncooked. We're going to add in half a tablespoon of salt, give it some flavor. We're going to stir this around for about 30 seconds, and we're going to cook it per the directions on the back of the package for al dente. And then once it's done, we're going to drain it out and put it back in the pot. While the pasta is cooking, we're going to cook up 1 pound of Italian sausage. We're going to break it up. Now while this is browning up, we're going to start chopping up a bell pepper. Just going to take off all 4 sides. We're going to use the whole bell pepper. I like bell peppers on a pizza. If you don't have to add it in. I'm just going to turn it around and just cut through the slices. The Italian sausage that I'm using is very lean. I'm just going to add a little bit of cooking oil, 1 tablespoon. That'll help the bell peppers cook down. And we'll chop up 1 yellow onion. We'll add this to the Italian sausage and bell peppers. We're going to cook this down until the sausage is browned and the peppers and onions have softened down. We're going to go ahead and get some garlic minced up. We're going to do 2 cloves. We're just going to take our knife, run it through the garlic until we get a fine mince. All right, let's add that to our cooked sausage and bell peppers and onions. We're going to mix this in for 1 minute, release all those flavors from the garlic, and then we'll turn off our burner. We've got the drained pasta. We're going to add our cooked sausage, peppers, and onions to the pasta. We're going to shake in about 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning. We're going to add in 48 ounces of your favorite pasta sauce. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of water to each jar, shake it up, and add that. One cup mozzarella shredded cheese. Let's mix this up. All right, we've got it all combined. We're going to spray a 9x13 baking dish with some nonstick cooking spray. We're going to pour our mixture in. All right, we're going to spread this out. Make sure you're using a deep dish. We're going to top it with 1½ cups mozzarella cheese. Pepperoni slices. We like pepperoni on our pizza. Don't steal them. Why not? All right, looks like a pizza, doesn't it? All right, I've got my oven preheated at 350 degrees. I am putting this baking dish on a sheet pan. That way if there's any dribbles, it doesn't go in my oven. I'm gonna bake this for 20 to 25 minutes until the cheese is nice and melted and has a nice little golden sheen to it. I'll be back. All right, let's dig in. Now let it cool down just a little bit to kind of pull itself together. Ooh, look at that. All right, let's go in for a bite. Wow. Tastes like a pizza in pasta form. Yeah, that's delicious. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make a patty melt pizza. We're going to take an old classic sandwich, the patty melt, turn it into a pizza. Come on down, and we're going to start by getting our ground beef ready. In a medium skillet over medium-high heat, we're going to brown up 1 pound of ground beef. I'm just going to start breaking it up. I've got no oil in the pan. And we want to cook the ground beef until it's no longer pink. So on the onions, I've got 2 medium yellow onions. I'm just going to take off the ends, that outer layer. Now while you're doing your onion, you can go into the ground beef and start moving it around. I'm just going to try to get some char bits on the ends of the meat. Get it kind of crispy, like it's been cooked on a grill in a burger form. I'm going to go ahead now and season the ground beef with a little bit of salt. Start locking in some flavor, about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and then we'll go in with 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to allow that to finish browning. Go back to our onions. I'm going to cut these in half. Now if you have any excess grease in your pan, you want to go ahead and drain that out. We're going to give it some flavor. We're going to go in with 1/3 cup of A1 steak sauce. We're going to add that. Ooh, that's going to give us nice flavor. Let's stir that in. We're going to turn off the heat. Make sure it's all coated. We're going to remove the ground beef mixture from the pan and place it into a medium bowl. We're going to set this aside. We're going to turn the heat back onto our skillet. You can leave everything in there that's left over. That's totally fine. It's just flavor. We're going to place in 4 tablespoons of butter. We're going to start melting that down. We're going to add the onions. When you scrape something off your board, make sure that you always use the back edge of your knife so you don't dull your sharp edge there. A little bit of salt. Black pepper. Always season your layers as you're cooking. We're going to cook these down for 8 minutes until they're nice and soft and browned up. They're going to be kind of like a caramelized onion. Look at those onions. Those look so delicious. Just turn off the heat. I'll start building a pizza. We're going to take pizza dough. You can make your own pizza dough, or you can get fresh pizza dough from your store. I do have a recipe for homemade pizza dough. If you go into my recipe blog, catherinesplates.com, you can find it there. Homemade pizza crust. All right, let's open this up. I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper and just lay it on my sheet pan. I'm going to roll it out. And then I'm just going to start pushing it out. Now this is how big our pizza is going to be. If you get a little hole, just pinch it shut. You're totally fine. We are not pre-baking our pizza dough, so it's going to cook the full time in the oven as is. We're going to add some Thousand Island dressing. I'm going to squeeze it all over the dough. This is going to be the sauce for the pizza. Just spread it around up to the edges. I can't wait for this one, you guys. We're going to take 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese or whatever you have. We're going to sprinkle it all on top of that Thousand Island dressing. We're gonna take our meat mixture, that was the ground beef that we cooked up with the A1 steak sauce, spread it evenly over the cheese. All right, we're gonna take our grilled onions, spread them on top of the beef mixture. We've got to top it with some additional cheese. I've got 2 extra cups of shredded cheese. Again, you can use like a Monterey Jack cheese, which is what I have right here, or a cheddar, if you want to do that. Just top it with your cheese. We're going to pop this in the oven that I've preheated at 400 degrees for 18 to 20 minutes till that crust is nice and golden brown and crispy on the outside. That cheese is nice and melted. Ooh, y'all look at that. Look at the crust. Oh yeah, nice and crispy on the edges. Let's cut a pizza. Ooh, that's delicious. Look who I have in the kitchen.
Hey!
It helps to have the other one in the kitchen when you're doing dinner with the 2 of us, right? I am so happy to have him in the kitchen. This is a dinner with the 2 of us, and we are making mini pizzas.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Thomas is going to get started with the sausage. What are you using?
Jimmy Dean, regular. You could use spicy if you wanted to. You could even use the sage.
We are using
Tortillas.
flour. These are just the standard size tortillas. If y'all have never baked a tortilla in the oven like a pizza, you need to stick around, see how we put this one together and bake it, because I'm telling you what, the different textures that come from this, it'll be nice and fluffy, nice and crispy on the outsides. Oh, the perfect pizza crust, peppers and onions. Now, we didn't have a bell pepper, but we do have sweet peppers.
They're sweet like me.
Did y'all miss him in the kitchen?
You know you did.
Now, while I'm chopping these up, I'm also going to chop up a yellow onion, or you could use a red onion, a sweet onion, whatever you have. All right, I'm just finishing chopping up these sweet peppers. I've already taken care of the onion. I'm going to add it, and then we're going to finish cooking up the sausage. We got a little pink left in it. We'll soften down the peppers and the onions, cook up that sausage. All right, so what I'm doing right now is shredding up about 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese. All right, the sausage, peppers, and onions are done, so we're going to turn that off. Y'all, we're going to start building a pizza. Now, our tortillas are 8 inches. That's pretty standard size. We're going to take some pizza sauce, any flavor you like or any brand you like. We like the Rayo's. And I'm going to take a spoon. I like sauce on my pizza. And I'm going to pass this on to Thomas so he can do his. This one's mine, and that one's Thomas's.
She's saucy. I'm not so much saucy.
I'm just going to take a brush. Y'all are going to learn a lot about me today. And I'm just going to spread it around. I like to put cheese on mine first. Is that how you like to do it?
Sure.
Because it kind of holds everything onto your pizza.
It's the glue.
This was that delicious cheese that I grated. It's mozzarella. It's going to melt really good because it doesn't have anything extra in it that you usually find in the packaged cheese. Get it all the way up to the edges there. And I'm going to get this sausage, the peppers and the onions. We're going to put that down on it. Y'all let us know what you like on your pizzas, what you would put on your individual pizza here. Ours becomes like a supreme. All right. Well, he's got the jalapenos. I'm going to be placing olives on mine. All right, that's what our pizzas look like. We've got the oven preheated at 425 degrees. We're going to place the pan in there, bake it. These cooked for 10 minutes. I'm going to show y'all how crispy that is. Yeah, you heard it. We're going to let these sit for just a few seconds. I'm going to use my pizza cutter. 4 slices. Oh, this is yours, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Excellent.
I would have almost had jalapeno in my mouth. Would have not been good. Oh, look at that. That's true cheese right there. Yep. Mmm.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
That real good. I'm going to need to make another.
All right, you guys, thanks for coming and enjoying our show, Dinner with the Two of Us. I was so glad to get him back in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be joining me for more of the Dinner for Twos.
Yep.
All right, you guys, we'll see y'all on the next episode. Bye.
Later.